Hey guys, so welcome to the free demo of the course here. So the goal of this is to show you guys why this course is the #1 course to learn photo editing and what 3 years of hard work looks like. All right, so I've been teaching on YouTube for about 3 years now, and how this is everything I know compiled into one streamlined curriculum. Yeah, let's just get straight into it, and I want to explain a few things to you guys. So this is what it will look like for you guys when you log in. So let's briefly cover the sections. So here we have section 1. So the idea of section 1 is to make sure there's no gaps in your learning. So there's no point teaching you these really advanced concepts if you don't know the basics really well. So the goal of section 1 to give you a really good understanding of every tool. We're not diving into how tools interact with each other, how things affect each other, what order of tools you should edit in. None of that really advanced stuff. Rather, we're just going down exactly what the tool does and how it's used, how it's most often used, just so you become very comfortable with using those tools, right? So this is so you've got no gaps in your knowledge, so then we can build your knowledge like a pyramid. You need that really strong base so you can move on to more advanced concepts. So section 2 is all about the curves. Now we'll have a bit about split toning and stuff like that, but that's because we'll be talking about things like curves related to split toning and things like that. People really like this section. 3 main reasons and things really like about this course. It's the how to use the curves, understanding color, and then it's the guest editor section. When people come to my Facebook group, I ask them, what are you most excited about learning about? They all say it's either one of those 3. They just want to nail the curves, they want to understand color so they can create their own style, or they really want to get access to that guest editor section, which is a huge section, a forever growing section of really talented photographers, where you get the raw image and the presets and they explain everything to you. So I get why that's a lot of people's favorites. We're here on the curves section. Now I'm going to keep adding to this as I continue to learn, remember that. But as you can see here, what you must know about creating fades. We've got a Q&A just on the curves. We've got the relationship between the curves and sliders. So why would you work with curves rather than sliders? What's the difference? They both affect exposure. So what do you do there? Identifying different lighting and color placement. So where do you put your colors in your image? So how do you control that? How do you identify, say someone's got lots of browns in their image, how are they putting those browns in the image, and how do you figure that out? We've got HSL and curves. How do you work with HSL and curves? What's the difference there? So when I'm trying to replicate this person's style, should I be doing it in the HSL or should I be doing it in curves? And I'll explain to you how they worked together as a tool and what's their differences, so you can get the exact style you want or imitate someone's style because you know which tools to work with. Then we've got curves versus split toning. So what's the difference here? Same concept as I just went over, how they work together and when to use which one. Really important lessons, I'd say these ones here. Why you should be using the curve sliders. So these are the curves that isn't where you plot the points, but when you open up and you can slide the curve by using the sliders. Why you should be using that and how I use it, how it really helps you achieve some styles. Curves, color placement, curve mid-tone. So this is one of my favorite lessons here, all about placing colors exactly where you want with the curves and creating the exact color. So start to finish, exact color we want, putting it in the exact brightness with the curves to create a palette that looks good. Great lesson, that one. And then we've got these color quizzes, so curve color quizzes. So I'm going to test if you know, because the best way to learn is to be an applied learner. I've had some students that have said they're applied learners. We have quizzes after some of these lessons. That way you can cement what you are learning, making sure you are understanding. And quite often when you do something, that's when you really learn. So that's why I've got these really good quizzes, and I've had students say a lot of good things about that. And then we've got like say subtraction method, we've got curve placement and subtraction method. So this is all about placing colors into your image and stuff like that. We've got Mac, cinematic film, contrast, so the different styles with curves, we cover that as well. Then we've got a section on creating presets, so kind of combining all of this section, all the knowledge in this section to create presets in this section here. Alright, so now we're on to the guest section. So as you can see, it's a really big section of really talented creators. So if we come up, and I'll show you what it looks like when you click into them. So we have Kyle Volgers here, for example, 70 minutes. So when you click in, the lesson will be here, and just above the lesson is always the raw image and the preset, if they used a preset in the tutorial. So yeah, super awesome lessons from really talented creators here. So this one is Kyle himself taking you through start to finish how he edits his photos, his export settings, and yeah, super talented guy. We've got the Freedom Complex, we've got Dean. So he's one of the guys that was helping me edit my YouTube tutorials. He's also a really talented photographer. And if we just click back up here. So the reason the guest section is down here in section 4 is because you're using all this knowledge that we have gone over in this section to follow these editors here. So when these really talented people give you the raw image, the preset, and take you through complete edit, you will understand every move they make. So if they're doing something with the curves, we cover everything there is to know about curves and why you would use curves. So you'll remember from this section why they are doing it. Even if they don't explain, a lot of them are really good teachers. Some of them might miss or slightly miss why they are doing something with the curves, but you will know really in depth why by going through all these earlier lessons. Okay, we want a really strong foundation from all of these lessons up top, and then when we come down we can get a bit more precise on edits, but we need that strong foundation of knowledge, and then we can get a bit fancy with creating different styles and little, or like the finishing touches of edits and what creates styles down here. But this is the science of Lightroom up here that you need to know, why I almost called the course the science of photo editing, because it's all numbers, it's mathematical. We are the creativity, Lightroom is the science. We need to understand science to be able to do styles like this. So again, if we click into a guest editor, here we have the lesson, and then we have the raw image up above. Let's go a bit further down, past the guest editor section. As you can see, it's a really big section. And then we've got a few edits from myself, and then we've got how to make your presets into LUTs. So there's a way to do it way better than everyone else is doing it. Yeah, I show you how to turn, you'll be able to turn every single style that we make up here into a LUT. So it's a pretty big deal. I show you how to do that, because that's how you make really good LUTs. So video color grading is actually exactly the same as photo color grading, creating presets and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what 3 years of just focused work creates. These really in-depth lessons that are just designed to give you extreme clarity as quick as possible. So a lot of these lessons I don't want to drag out. I don't want to make it a big load of fluff. This is what's happening, really dialed in. I put in a lot of effort to make these extremely digestible, like graphics, to help explain visually what is going on behind Lightroom and why we struggle so much to, I want it to do this and it's not doing it. I want this color here and it's not doing that. I break down everything you need to know to get to my level of editing. So back up the top here, we've got a few things. So we've got, click on here. This is where you get linked to get all the raw images from YouTube tutorials. All right, over here now we have all of these for the YouTube tutorials. You get the raw image, and in some cases all the recent tutorials and tutorials going forward. You get the settings as well in a DNG format. This is just crazy. So if we look at, say, Michael, he was one of our earlier ones. We've got 4 really good raw images from him there. Don't underestimate how valuable all these raw images are. I know when I started, all I wanted was raw images to practice. Yeah, that's why I was so sure I wanted to get so many raw images for you guys to follow along in tutorials. So don't forget just how important it is to get these raw images. Here's one of my favorite photographers that we've done heaps of tutorials on. Must be something like 10 here. 12 of his raw images that you can follow along with and learn a ton, and some of them are DNGs as well. This is where you have codes to really popular presets that you guys can get. Presets are still, once you understand how Lightroom works, working with presets becomes really enjoyable and fun, and you can get the most out of them. So I do recommend still buying presets, even though this course is largely about making your own. But since you've got such a good understanding of color after this, curves and the tools and creating styles, you're able to use other people's presets and adjust them to make your own really easy. And we've also got the presets that are sold for the YouTube tutorials for a few years that people absolutely loved, and they're just up the top there. As you can see, there's 3, it's technically like 4 sections, or technically like 5, 6, but it's like 3 real main ones. So really getting good understanding of the tools. If you're a beginner, you need to watch this. Advanced, you'll still learn some things in here. And then this is where the magic is in terms of how I do my YouTube tutorials. Like, a lot of you guys do not understand how on earth I recreate some of these images. It's because I understand how Lightroom works. I understand why the curves are slightly different to HSL, and how by using them together you can get a result that isn't achievable with any other tool apart from using them together. So if you guys want to build out your own style and you want to get to the position of being a full-time photographer or impressing your friends, some people just want to impress their friends with their photography, like their family members and stuff like that. I think that's awesome. But then if you also want to get to an advanced level of editing, this is by far the quickest way to do it, guys. To get the raw images, to get the presets, to get the guided tutorials, and then myself that's been doing it for 3 years now on YouTube, at least teaching on YouTube for 3 years. Yeah, this is what 3 years of hard work looks like. So yeah, guys, this is the free demo of the course, fastest growing course for photography or photo editing in the world, and I can't wait to continue to add a bunch more awesome creators to this course, continue to build this. I can't wait to just grow this and reach as many people as we can, because it is such a hard thing to learn. Photo editing, if you want to master it on your own, you're looking at 10 years. Like, I've had people say they've done photography for 8 years, and after joining my course, then they learned how to use the curves. So don't wait 8 years to learn the tools of your craft. 50% of the image, if not more, is made in Lightroom nowadays. So don't wait 10 years and never have a really good in-depth explanation how tools interact and how to build out color palettes and make colors look good together and have complete actual control of Lightroom, so you can get what's in your head onto your image. And the quicker you can get this information in your head downloaded into your brain, the sooner you'll be able to get really nice, consistent looking feeds of edits you really, really like. And I almost forgot, up top here is also where you join the Facebook group where you can post all your questions, and I quite often will throw in a photo editing competition, stuff like that. We've got a forever growing community there. There is no other community for photo editing on Facebook. There's all sorts of Facebook groups. For some reason there's not for photo editing, so that's kind of the only photo editing community in the world online, sort of, on Facebook anyway. And I almost forgot, here we have photo bank. So if we copy this URL, it will take us over to the raw photo bank. So these are a few creators that donated, like, well, I licensed about 100 images off. Some of them are my images as well that you guys get access to, but otherwise we've got hundreds of these really talented photographers just giving us raw images to help us build out our styles. So really helpful, because you get all these famous locations all over the world, and they really help you implement what you've been learning, because some of us don't have 50 megapixel cameras right now, or some of us don't have $3,000 glass lenses. Yeah, that's the goal with the raw photo bank. Okay guys, so we'll wrap that up. Hopefully you see the why I have structured the course. I get a lot of comments on how they like it structured. That's the best way to get to the level where you can just look at an image and be like, bang, and be able to recreate that image that you see online, do it to your own image and get the exact style you want, because we need that strong foundation. So what the tools do is this strong foundation at the bottom to build this pyramid of knowledge. And on top of that, it gets a bit more fancy with these tools interacting with each other, the rules of color, another layer of these guest editors, and then we can go, all right, so we can really follow all these guest editors start to finish, understanding everything they're doing, because we've built the knowledge like a pyramid. We also get the raw images and presets. Okay, so this is the course I wish I had quite a few years ago, and I'm super stoked to bring it to you all. And we've had over 500 members so far, so if you're not in at the moment, make sure you get in soon, because you don't want to, like I said, wait 8 years or so before getting like that foundation, because the quicker you get that really solid foundation, the more time you have to work on the dialing in your style concepts, right? So the quicker you get that really strong foundation, the more time you can put into dialing in your unique style, right? Because we don't want to spend all this time. There is no information like this anywhere else on the internet, guys, on YouTube or anything. This is the most unique course I know of, in terms of it's completely different. You will not find stuff like this on YouTube. Most courses you can, if you're resourceful, find stuff on YouTube. This isn't on YouTube at all. So check out all the testimonials from everyone inside the course, guys. I'm really excited to have you guys part of this, because this is quickly becoming the #1 photo editing, well, is the #1 photo editing course in the world, but one of the staple courses in the photography industry every photographer needs. But yeah guys, take action, don't give up on your dreams, invest in yourself, be confident, don't let doubt creep in about not being able to achieve what you want to achieve. I just a couple of years ago didn't know any of this, and now I've compiled it all together for you guys. I learned it all myself, doing 300 tutorials on YouTube, spending sometimes an entire day on one of those 10-minute YouTube tutorials you saw, and I learned a ton, and now I have compressed it into this course for you guys. So editing has given me the ability to get clients, like the ability to travel, live the lifestyle I want, because I was super determined to learn editing, and it let me achieve the lifestyle I wanted. But now my goal is to make other people achieve the lifestyle they want, and it is happening. We've got really awesome stories in the Facebook group. But yeah, I'll just leave this one here, guys. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.